So let's begin in the quiet. Just take a moment. Here in this space, we're kind of invited to slow down, to just observe, to wait with an open mind. This world, well, it doesn't really rush to give you answers. It kind of asks you to just sit with its images, with its symbols, and just feel the weight of a story that's about to unfold. And this is the key, isn't it? A simple sentence that just unlocks everything we thought we knew. It invites us to look again, really look, at a very, very old story. Okay, so let's get into it. A story so familiar, it's almost invisible to us now. The story of the man who waited. I mean, we all think we know the story of Juan Tamad, right? It's that tale we're told as kids, a simple fable. Really, just a joke about being lazy. We see him under the tree, and yeah, we think we get it. But what if that waiting wasn't empty? What if it was a choice, a strategy even? This is the big question that just kind of hangs in the air in this exhibit. And right here, his stillness, it becomes a kind of lens. By refusing to play a game that wasn't built for him, he starts to see how it really works. You see, he's not just waiting for a fruit, he's waiting for clarity. So, what happens when that clarity finally arrives? We get to see how this one man's stillness builds out into an entire universe. The story goes that when he finally tasted that guava, it wasn't just a fruit. No way. It was knowledge. It was a doorway. And the paintings here in this room, well, they're the visions from the other side of that door. And all of a sudden, he's not in a simple orchard anymore. He's in a world of archetypes, of forces. So here you see the restless search for identity in the tikbalang, forever wandering, right next to the deep, cyclical patience of Maria Makiling. Each one pulls in a completely different direction. It's a world of tension, for sure, but it's also a world of this profound balance. Every force has its opposite, and together they create a complete whole. And you can feel that contrast again right here, the fleeting little spark of artistic inspiration in Centelno, a fire you just can't hold on to, next to the unshakable, silent authority of the Capre, a presence so rooted it feels like gravity itself. As you walk through this space, you start to realize these aren't just portraits, they're moments in a journey. Every single one presents a choice, a challenge that our man Juan has to navigate. But a journey like this needs a guide. Or maybe not a guide. Something a little more interesting. A gatekeeper. So we meet the Nuno. And he's not going to tell you which way to go. He just holds up a mirror and lets you see what you might be hiding from yourself. His whole job is to make sure the choices you make are true. And the tools he uses are these mirrors. There's the red mirror, which shows the path of conflict, of sacrifice. Then there's the blue mirror, the path of cold, hard reality. And that yellow spark? That's the path of awareness, of seeing the whole pattern at once. And at this point in the journey, this question starts to form. We've seen the art, we've met the characters, but what if this myth is actually a map? A map to something real, something that we can build. And this is where the story of the art just blossoms into something so much bigger. We move from that one single tree to a whole orchard. The guava nexus, that's the name for the system this art represents. It's basically a space where our ideas, our stories, our art, our philosophies are treated like seeds, things to be planted, cared for, and grown together. And here's the beautiful, simple logic behind it. It works like an orchard, but with two kinds of trees. In the abstract tree, we plant the seeds of imagination, all the stories, the myths, the what-ifs. Then, in the physical tree, we get to harvest those ideas and build them into real-world things. So ultimately, this is a huge shift in perspective. We go from just passively accepting the world as it's handed to us, to actively taking part in creating the stories and systems and values that actually shape our reality. And this brings the entire journey, from that quiet man under the tree to this huge orchard of ideas, right back to us, here, now. This is Bathala, the final archetype. And he's not a ruler. He's more like the principle of oneness. It's that moment when all the conflicts, all the struggles, all the separate little paths, they all resolve into a single unified whole. It's the destination. And the final lesson from Juan's journey is this. Real creation isn't about control or ownership. It's about letting go. It's about contributing your little piece to a story that's bigger than any one of us, and in doing that, becoming part of everything. So as you stand here among all these paintings, just remember they're more than just art. They're an invitation. They're a map for a world we can actually build together. The only question left is the one the Nuna would ask. Which path will you choose?